You gotta love Elvis, and you gotta love me tender. Good afternoon, everybody. It is Brent from Brent's Van Life, and we're just starting up this video. And Bonnie, congratulations! No T-shirt, but you are the first contestant on The Price is Right. I thought I'd throw myself up here a couple minutes early. I was going to go live at 1 o'clock, but I finished up all my editing, and editing's a lot of fun, but then you have to actually upload it and then fill out all that information, descriptions, and fill out this and monetization and make thumbnails. And, that adds another hour onto all the work we already have to do. So it's crazy life I live, for nothing. To literally entertain you fine folks and have fun, keeping my mind busy, because if it wasn't for keeping my mind busy, I'd probably be crazier than I already am. Hello, Spoiled Rotten and Sandra. Mr. Betts is in the house. Still haven't got my lobster, Craig. Thought at least you'd send me out like a can of it or something, So today, on today's episode, I want to know what you guys think about that new little idea that I'm playing with. I wish I could do this, and it would come across the screen. Life Chronicles. What do you guys think? I need to get some water in me. Hang on. Hi, dude. Hi, buddy. There we go. Great idea. Thank you, Bonnie. I appreciate it. I was lying in bed one day and I'm like, what am I going to do? Especially after the knee operation, where I won't be mobile for weeks on end. I think they tell me 2 to 4 weeks before I can actually drive. So it's a lot of downtime. And I was trying to think, how can I go out and get a bunch of videos, and then I can edit them as I go through. So I thought, this is a great idea. I can go out and find people's stories, because everybody has a story. And I'm sticking with, would you look at that? I'm not going to be strict and stick to van lifers. I'm going to, in the beginning, we're going to get van life stories, but I think that everybody has a story. So I think what will happen is it'll just end up evolving into, it's kind of like a podcast of sorts. But as I become more comfortable and have more of an idea of what I'm doing, because literally I woke up and thought this was an idea and shoved a camera in my face and somebody else's face and started filming. So there's going to be a bit of a process. Thank God I'm already comfortable behind a camera. But yeah, I think we need to do some tweaking here, some tweaking there, and we should have a lot of fun in the future. Wow, eh? I was bugging Craig, because Craig lives out on the east coast of Canada and I'm on the west coast, and he's always bugging me about his lobster and scallops and all the great seafood they have out there that we don't have out here. And he just told me, he goes, it's more expensive to buy canned lobster than it is to get fresh stuff. I'm like, that's insane, right? You get such a small amount. Yeah, I hear you, Sheila. It's one of those things. And sometimes it's also, I know my editing. Well, I know what people kind of want, and what humans. I've done some back in the day, um, I was doing a lot of reading about humans and how they work and think, and the counseling manners, and we are creatures of habit, and we need to be entertained. We need bam, 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 bam. We need things changing all the time. Otherwise, we lose attention. And if I lose your attention, boom, you're off to another channel. So sometimes when we're talking with people, they actually have a tendency to um, go on a little bit too long. And I don't want to lose people by sitting there going like, okay, so I try to move them along a little bit quicker sometimes. And yes, I am an ADHD kind of guy with the LMNOP and the COPD, and so my brain is working uber fast. I think that's one of the prerequisites to be a van lifer, especially a YouTuber. Yeah, we don't really sleep well. But yeah, talking with friends, talking with just random people I might meet on the street, right? Stopping at Craig's house and send him down to the local dock and grab some lobster, and he can tell me his story as we cook up lobster and eat it in front of you guys, right? So I don't really know what it's going to go like. I keep just throwing these ideas up in the air, and I'm like, that's kind of what I'm looking for. Hey, Virginia, it's good to see you in the house. Retro Roams. Greetings from Beach Mountain, North Carolina. So I realized 6 to 8 inches of snow last night. Well, I hate to break it to you. 9.3 degrees Celsius outside. So that's 9, and 9 is 18, plus 32 makes it 50 degrees Fahrenheit right now outside. Oh, yes, I forgot about the mussels. I actually had mussels in Halifax. I was down in right down. I went to go see that brewery with not O'Keefe, Alexander Keith. Anyways, it's an old brewery, but now basically it's a tourist trap. So I didn't go into it. I went in and I looked. I turned around and left. I wanted to go in and sit in a brewery, but it's not. It's a factory and a touring and tourist trap. And just up behind there, I found a quaint little restaurant on the sidewalk, and so I had a beer and mussels and butter and white wine sauce. It was so good. I love mussels. Have I talked to Jeffy while he's in the hospital? Actually, no, me and Jeffy have parted ways here quite some time ago, and I haven't spoken to him since early last summer, sadly. But people come into your life for a reason, a season, and a lifetime. I guess he wasn't one of the lifetimers. It's all good. Heart goes out to Jeff. Jeff is in the hospital. I was catching up on a couple of his videos. Turns out that he had a mini stroke, and was it because of his diabetes, I believe, was going rampant on him, and yeah, so he's struggling now. He's in the hospital, so let's hope he gets a full recovery out of it. He's a good guy. Oh, I haven't seen the new one yet, though. Thanks for letting me know that, Rotten. Rotten. Can I call you rotten, or do you like spoiled better? Yeah, Craig lives out on the east coast of Canada, so he's New Brunswick, I believe, which is the province just before you go into Nova Scotia. And by the way, Nova Scotia is kind of like a French slang for New Scotland. And I'm telling you, if you get to the top part of it on Cape Breton, they have what's the trail up there? Some explorer trail, that Cabot Trail. I was actually driving there 3 years ago, and I'm going around the Cabot Trail, and I'm telling you, I was waiting for guys on horses and riding out there with their kilts on and their big long swords. Like it literally took me back into time with those movies we get to watch. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. So I see why they call it what they call it. 50 degrees here in northern Florida. So excuse me. Look at that. Northern Florida has the same temperature as we do here on the West Coast in Canada. Let me step outside of my igloo so that I can go and like show you how beautiful it is outside. Oh, look at this. Bonnie's out shopping, watching me on her phone, getting groceries. Oh, hang on. I got to put you away for a sec. I need to pay for my groceries. How many of you guys have that? Do you guys have your wallet in your phones? Do you guys put your credit cards in there so you can go and tap with your phones? What else do you guys want to talk about? Huh? We talked about Jeff. We talked about seafood that I'm never going to get from Craig. Um, kind of giggled at Bonnie's shopping while with her phone. Hope she doesn't run into any posts. Oh my God, Retro, that thing is amazing. And if anybody ever is thinking about like running power, like which I probably won't, I would is ever going to do another build, I might do a build with basically we'll throw up a solar panel on the roof and we'll buy like a Blue Eddy power system and get that DC to DC small charger for it. I drove across town. It was up 40-50%. And I just drove around town one day and basically it's 20 minutes across town, 20 minutes back. And I had to do a couple pit stops here and there. And before I got home, I had a full charge on my little Blue Eddy. So I'm pretty stoked at how well it works. So when you get the Blue Eddy, you're already getting your batteries, you're getting your inverter, you're getting your outlets already. Everything's already built into that one little thing instead of having to like put all these fuse panels in and run this to that and that. It gets pretty complicated. And it takes up a lot of space if you're doing it the other way. But I guess it depends on the size of how much power you're going to actually need. I'm not one of those guys that I had an air fryer, I gave it away. The only thing that I have that draws any big power is my Keurig. But I mean, I only have like a couple cups of coffee a day. So my power supply is killer. Like I had 300 amp hours inside. And I probably could have got away with, that last big Blue Eddy power station, that 200, that 2000 one I got. So that probably would have been more than enough for me for the last 3 years, and easy installs, easy place to hide it, and more storage, and so on and so on and so on. Yeah. Yeah. So I believe it puts out like 40 amps. It could take up to 60 amps. Don't quote me on that, but it does charge uber fast. Mine was a 700 watt power station, and that literally was charged up in about half an hour. Well, half of it was in half an hour, so that times by two would be an hour for 700 watts. And the thing is, you're usually driving places anywhere, so you leave it on and you're constantly charging it. I was actually overly impressed with the Blue Eddy system itself because I had it hooked up to my fridge, and my fridge was working in the Honda, and I left it on overnight, and I was quite surprised that there was such minimal draw from the fridge to keep it going. So I'm really stoked about building this CRV out. I don't know where my paperwork went, but I got some, I drew my plans up because I built the bottom frame for it to hold my fridge and stuff. If you guys saw, if you haven't, go back and check out the video on the CRV build. And I built the skeleton base bone for it. And I've designed the upper sections for it and got all the measurements for it. So what I got to do now is just figure out how much wood I need. And then I'm going to go out there and I'll cut it all at once. And then it'll just screw all together. Little like back to the ADHD stuff in my brain is scattered all over the place. So I've tried to pre-plan all my cutting. So I'll draw a picture of it and then I'll draw exactly what it is. And then I'll take the measurements and how much wood I need in each measurement. And then I was like, well, I need 4 pieces of wood this big and 4 pieces of wood this big. And I need a piece of plywood cut like this. And I'm like, But in the end, when you come out there, you basically know exactly what did I build last time. You know exactly how much wood you need. I built something last time out of plywood and literally designed it all on paper and had it all sitting in front of me. And then I had to measure it. Then I drew a piece of plywood and then I drew every piece onto that little piece of plywood. So I knew if I needed more than one plywood sheet. There we go. Sometimes I could just like to shut this baby off sometimes. So right now, this is the humble abode I'm staying in. This is actually in a mobile home park where I used to live. My house is that one right there. So that's my old mobile home. And this guy was my neighbor, and we hung out lots. He moved in here 5 or 6 years before I moved out, and we maintained the relationship and friendship for the last 5 years that I've been on the road. So we've known each other quite some time. So I'm staying here with him. Until I get my surgery. Virginia still uses the card. No, I put all my guess the wallet that I have on my iPhone seems to bounce all over the place. Oh God, I love it. Virginia's talking about the wallet. I asked you guys how many people have their wallets on their phone. Well, I have I think I only have one pay in my one credit card on my thing there, but everything else is all my rewards cards. Because then if you have a rewards card for every store, then your wallet gets really big and thick, or your purse or whatever. But they all fit on the phone. You open it up and they can scan your phone. So that's what I was asking. This is where I'll be staying for my surgery. Yeah. So this is a little 3-bedroom mobile home. He's done a good job of renovating it up and keeping it up to date and everything. So, and he works full time. He owns a business in town here. So he's actually off golfing today. So because it's Saturday. Yeah, your Jackery 500. Okay. So you need to understand that what happens is when you plug into your cigarette lighter, go look at the fuse, right? And your fuse will tell you that you are only charging your Jackery at 10 amps. So it will take forever and a day to charge up any type of lithium battery power station by plugging it into the lighter. You have to keep it topped up all the time. The good part is depending on your draws. As you say, you only have your fridge and computers and phones and whatever charging up. So it doesn't have that big of a draw. But if you leave it unplugged, like if I go for a drive and I forget to plug it into my cigarette lighter, oh, I forgot to do that. And you slowly allow that to burn down, then it's going to take a long time to make it charge back up with only 10 amps. And I believe I don't remember. I'd have to Google it. What is it? I'm not going to do it. But you can check it out. Go to the blueeddy.ca or blueeddy.com. Go in, it's a Charger 1. And yeah, you'll freak out. You will totally freak out at how fast it is. It has a little power station or a little fuse thing on it, so you turn it on. And all it is a green light, so it's not going to kill your battery if you leave it on. I shut mine off because I'm not using anything. I just hooked it up. But I could be charging up my battery every time I jumped in the car and drive. And I'm not doing a lot of driving, but everything's staying full because nothing's hooked up. So, or is it? No, that's the charges going into it. Yeah. Having to rethink how I hooked it up. I know there's something plugged in the I think it's a 12 volt. Oh, maybe that is my fridge hooked up. I'll have to go look. We'll see what's going on. Hey Norm, you're late. I hope you got a note. Otherwise, we're gonna have to remove your privileges of having a hammer or a wrench or whatever you're gonna do. Dan the Van and Miss Tina is in the house. Howdy, my friends. Have you got snow yet, Dan? Have you been working hard? My lovely, lovely friend from Prince Rupert, British Columbia, the halibut capital of the world at one time. Hello, Catherine. It's good to see you. Becca just showed up. Sorry, you guys. I came in here randomly and didn't really tell anybody I was coming on here. I was trying to fill up some space because let's see, I've only put out 2 videos last week. They were pretty far apart. But we put out some shorts and we put out some announcement things or whatever they're called and posts. We put out some posts. We're trying to keep you guys informed on what's going on in Brent's life. But yeah, we're so I figured I'd come on here and do a live. I do have a really nice fella. His name is Ricky Ricardo. And he's from, get this, Ricky Ricardo, and he's from Germany. And I ran into him last September at a VanLife meetup, and we crossed paths here recently over the Christmas holidays. He was hanging out with me at the compound, me and Wayne. So we got him, and he's going to be your next victim on VanLife Chronicles. So look forward to putting that out. That'll be out tomorrow at 1 o'clock PST. Pacific Standard Time. So that'll be 3-4 o'clock in Ontario. Hey Becca, icy UK. Does that mean your fog got cold? Oh, good. I'm glad you enjoyed that, Becca. It was fun. It was, yeah. There we go. Virginia's other pockets full. There you go. Only 3 snowfalls, eh? Wow. But at least you didn't get hit because that storm went by in the States, eh? Just south of you guys. And they got hammered. Oh my God. Yeah, no, Phil. Hey, you got a note, Phil? Hate is not in my vocabulary. Dislike is. Hate's a powerful word. Finally awakened. Hey, from Melbourne, Australia. Wow, the land down under. Want to throw a shrimp on the barbie for me? That guy just passed away, didn't he? That Crocodile Dundee guy. God rest his soul. everybody's safe. Yeah. Do you know, I haven't really, Catherine, I don't know. Um, I feel bad for both of them because I get like busy in my head and I forget about them. And I'd love to have that secret group of people. I know what's his name or Bruce. I know he's quite um I don't know if he's still doing it, but he was when we were sitting there chatting with him when I was out in Calgary with him, and I was asking him about it. And he went over to memberships because he does a lot of uploading behind the scenes stuff, and I've I haven't done it enough to make it routine. Like we're habitual, we're humans. So in order to make something become a habit, we have to do it on a regular basis in order to make it a habit. And like I go in there and I do it for a couple days or something, then I totally forget about it. I'm like, oh, I feel so bad. And then I go in there and like, and then there's Brent being a suckhole. I feel so bad. I didn't post anything in a while. I'm like, oh well. I'm old and getting decrepit and got a mind that's God, I don't know. I'm definitely feeling old age with my mind. So just learning how to edit and stuff was quite the journey for me. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know, Catherine. Oh, yeah. The weather down here just changed too. We are yesterday was like our first full on sunny day. The day before was hit and miss. And yeah, we had all that crap too. And supposedly we got 4 or 5 days of beautiful weather. It is literally 9 degrees, 50 degrees Fahrenheit here right now. So I'm not going to complain. This is our summer and whatever. We'll be fine. And LJ, I heard you're in the armpit of Ontario. I mean, down at the corner of Lake Ontario there, down in the little, yeah. I actually got stuck in Hamilton, eh? Um, I was coming out of Toronto. I stopped and saw my friend, the Narc Alert, from here on YouTube, and she's a good, dear friend of mine from 2007. So we went and had lunch in downtown Toronto. When I left, got this big bad knock. It's when my engine blew up in my school bus when I was in Ontario, and I was down in well, it blew up in Fort Erie, but or Crystal Beach. But yeah, when I was, just before I was coming down, I was driving down, and I'm like, this doesn't sound good. So I stopped at some couple places, a Walmart and a Lordco or some kind of auto parts store. Was buying all this stuff and changed the oil and did everything I could to try to stop this noise. And then the last thing was, okay, Brent, you need to tear this down and have a look at it. And I was at a mall just before the big bridge that goes over the locks that take you from on Lake Ontario into Lake Erie. And there's a mall there, and I spent like 3 days there, and I think it was the hottest days in Ontario. It was 40 something degrees out, and I'm sweating and I'm covered in grease and dirt because I got the motor all pulled apart and I'm trying to fix it. Oh my god, that's some really nice characters when you talk about tent city. People were showing up going, hey, how you doing, and blah blah blah. But I will say we've had some pretty bad tent cities here in our past. We have the weather here that doesn't change. Like it's nice all the time, even now. Like it's warm out. So we have a lot of that problem going on. It's been growing over the years, but we had very well newsworthy tent city happening here a few years back that they finally moved out and got housing and built stuff and did all that stuff and finally got rid of it. And it was right down on the oceanfront property. So kind of terrorized the little downtown. Hey Sten, how's it going? And I'm feeling old today. I'll tell you that much. Yeah, no, you can keep them, Norm. We don't need water out here. We got lots of rain, and by the time your snow got here, it would just be water. So no, you can keep it, okay? Keep it there where it's nice and cold, so it stays in that white fluffy state. Oh, really? Oh, yeah, Dougly, Fugly, yeah. Nelly, armpit is right. I have friends of mine that actually have. I think her kid is a bus driver or was a bus driver in Hamilton, and I have other friends from like Brampton, Brantford, wherever Wayne Gretzky's from. And yeah, they don't have a lot to say about a lot of nice things about Steel City. That's what it is, right? Steel City. Is that what they call it? Hey, good afternoon, Jim. It's good to see you. Taking some time out. You're looking at your computer or your phone or whatever you're doing in the car, driving along Highway 19. Oh, where are you going? Where are you going? North, south? Picky, picky, picky. Yeah, you guys. So yeah, again, tomorrow is the next episode of VanLife Chronicles. I'm pretty happy with it. It's just I thought it would be easier to get people. I approached 3 people the other day when I was down in Chemainus, and I only got 1 interview. So the other 2 said they think about it. One was having a bad day, and the other one says, "Well," so the other one was like, "Well," I'm like, "Well, maybe I'll just get a smaller version of the thing there, just to, you know, talk to you a little bit because I love you so much." And she's like, "Well, maybe." And then the other one says, "When I'm in a better mood, Brent, we can do it." I'm like, "Perfect." So I'm looking forward to that and running out and seeing who else I can find. I do know that we got Bruce here on the island, and there's a couple other guys that are with him too that will probably stick their face in front of a camera with me or sit down and have a chin wag, as they say. And yeah, because I think everybody's interesting. I love, oh, you're going home. Okay. I love that trying to get the stories out of people. And but yeah, I gotta learn to shut up sometimes. Somebody was saying earlier, shut up and let them finish their story. But it'll get easier. The more you do it, the better it gets, the easier it gets. And I mean, Johnny Carson got pretty good at the end of his run, right? But he did it for 30 years. I won't be around that long. Oh, does Hamilton get in a hockey team? Are they the new hockey teams? Who's that new hockey team that comes out? It's like the something hockey team. Is that Hamilton? There's Ruth. Ruth, I was just talking about you, but oops. No, I wasn't. I was thinking about popping by and seeing if you girls were around today. I just finished working here and getting everything posted up that I needed, and I was waiting. I had a text message from a friend of mine who lost their puppy um, over the Christmas season here in the last couple of days, and she wants to go out and bury it. She wants to find a nice place, and she doesn't care where. And we could do a road trip or do anything. And I'm like, "Okay, I'm here for you, honey." But she hasn't texted me, so I can't sit around and wait for people. Look how popular you are, Ruth. Okay, cool. I will pop by and see you guys in a bit here. When I get off of here, I'll jump in the cars and unless I get the call. I got the call yesterday. My buddy Dave was in the hospital since December the 2nd, and he went home once and fell 4 times in 2 hours. So they sent him back to the hospital for more evaluations, and he just got released again yesterday. So I had to go to his house and grab some stuff. He's in a new, safer environment. So we had to go pick up food and take him out. And Yeah, it was quite the um, yeah, quite the couple hours. It's hard because he died and his brain was shut off, right? So now it's like he can't control his short-term memory or his body as well as he what he once was, but he wants to eat normal, right? The Utah hockey team, that's what it is. Thanks, Norm. And hey, Jamie, how's it going, buddy? You guys like watching RCs? Go check out Bubbles RC Shed. Jamie has a few videos that he has put out in his past that are pretty cool. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up, everybody. Thanks, Ruth. Yeah. So yeah, I've been getting phone calls from him quite all the time. He was having tremors and stuff today, and basically, I truly believe that when he gets wound up and the brain starts to get caught up in nothing, basically, that it starts affecting. He said, my legs are bouncing. Take me to the hospital. And I'm like, I'm not taking you to the hospital because your legs are bouncing. I said, what are you thinking about? What are you guys doing? And blah, blah, blah. And I said, just kind of lie down, right? And just, I said, talk to God or something. Like, he goes, oh, okay. I said, just ask him, why why is this happening? What am I supposed to do? And I said, you're not going to get the answers right away, but it'll take your mind off whatever you're thinking about, and hopefully you'll stop bouncing all over the place. He just contacted me again, an hour and a half, 2 hours later, and he was off getting a ride somewhere with a friend, and he says, I'm doing good now, and I'm like, good. He's the kind of guy that needs somebody around him all the time, and this new place has him by himself. So people get too hung up on these things, thinking that people are supposed to answer them the minute that you actually type something. How come they didn't answer me? Why didn't they answer me? Maybe they're driving. Maybe they're sleeping. Maybe they're busy. It is you nailed it, Norm. Basically, a toddler with a bigger brain, right? And he keeps putting down his walker, and I'm like, why did you put down your walker? Well, it makes too much noise. I'm like, there's nobody there. Well, I have neighbors, and I'm worried about it. I'm like, you're in a hotel. You've got cement walls, right? I said, you're going to need that walker for the first couple, 3 days until you learn how to walk in this new area. You spent a month in one area and learned how to walk in there. Anyways, it's a little, I don't want to say frustrating, um, but it's definitely trying because you know that they have an issue, and you have to handle it with kid gloves, right? Uh, what? Oh, okay. Yes, life is. Nobody said it was going to be easy though, Doreen. Like life. Nobody said no. Life's going to be easy. You just wake up one day and boom, you become a millionaire, and you have everything you want. And no, no, we're on that pathway to death. Have fun while you're here. Yeah. Yeah. What's up, Canadian weirdos? Hey, Buffalo by bicycle. Do you have videos on that? I gotta check that out. That sounds interesting. Okay. Um, Buffalo by bicycle. Oh. It came up BYU or BUY. It's not showing up. Did he answer me yet? Buffalo Basso? Curious, Mr. Buffalo. Do you have a YouTube channel? Ogopogo guy is in the house. Hello, you Toddly. Hey, Studley. Hey, Studley. How you doing, Studley? And you're absolutely right, Stan. It is what you make of it. You get in what you get out what you put in, right? Faith will move mountains, but you better bring a shovel. I love that one. So yeah, life's pretty good. We're in a nice place right now. I've been here for just over a week. Getting pretty comfortable, pretty set up. Cooked some marvelous meals. You guys want to see one? You knew it is Saturday, right, Todd? It's Saturday. Saturday means no worky. Okay. Hang on. I didn't edit this properly. What? It's not doing it. Done. Done. Cancel. I can't do it. What the heck's going on? Cancel. Okay, try this one. It's doing it too. Oh, that's a crap. I know how to do it. Lock screen. There we go. This is what I cooked up the other day. So what that is, that's a salmon, coho salmon, with shrimp and crab and cream cheese, covered with hollandaise sauce, with seafood stuffed mushroom caps. Oh, there we go. Roasted potatoes with onions and green peppers. Eh? It was friggin' amazing, Stan. I haven't cooked that one in a while. That's one of my old Prince Rupert recipes that I got when I was up there. Because when you live up in a small town on the West Coast, you have an overabundance of seafood. So yeah, we were playing with things and stuff like that, and it was now I'm hungry. Yeah, I know, me too. I had hash browns and eggs this morning, and I ran out of bread, so I just mixed them all together. It was actually good, and it was those hash browns you get from Costco. You guys seen those ones that come in the little baby milk containers, and they're dehydrated, and you open it up and you pour hot water into it, and you close it and you let it sit for like 5 minutes or something, and then you empty them out, and they're like dehydrated, and all of a sudden they're not, and you're like, ah, and they're beautiful if you add a little bit of like onion and garlic to it yourself. Oh, so good. I was thinking about making chili too today, but I always made my chili in a hot pot, or what are those things called? A crock pot. And we don't have one here. So then it ends up going into a pot, and I'm still learning this stove here, and so I don't burn things. Chef Brent. I should do a little cooking thing for you guys one day, because it is amazing. Like, you're used to living in a van, and I have used multiple stoves before when I've been out cooking, but most of the time you're just down to one burner and at a barbecue. And then even the barbecue doesn't come out that much, especially this time of the year. So it's really nice to actually have a stove and an oven to play with now. So holy cow! Happy birthday, George! The big 55. God, I can't even remember what that feels like. Ollie, let's hear the joke. Oh, you guys, yeah, it's football, isn't it? It's playoff time. We usually do our football on Sundays here in the household. We have this thing called the red zone, and it's quite interesting being able to watch every game that's going on and just catching all the plays and not having to watch well, they're fiddling and farting around. This goes from play to play to play to play, different teams, and I get confused at times. But I'm starting to enjoy football. My buddy's quite the football fanatic, so I get to sit and watch with him. And the more I watch it, the more I like it. So it's getting better. Where are you going? Hoja. Oh, the Mongolian Grill. What was the place I went to? A Brazilian barbecue. Now, has anybody ever been to a Brazilian barbecue? What? I bake every day? Oh, he laughs. He gets baked every day, probably. No. So Brazilian barbecue have some amazing stuff in it. But what happens is they have these spears to try to. This is mirrored me, so it's really screwing me up. Like my camera. Um, they have these big, long. There we go. Big, 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 long spears, and they come walking out holding it, and it looks like a big sword. And they'll have on top of it, they'll have like Cornish game hen or a roast on it, and basically they walk around, and they must have half a dozen younger kids, younger than me, walking around, and they'll have this sword with either a knife or a fork or whatever, and then they come on, would you like some of this? And then they put it off and put it on your plate, or they'll cut it off and put it on your plate. And that's what they do the whole time you're there, nonstop. They have a buffet that has like salads and stuff on it. You go up there, you get that, and then the whole time you're there, and you eat as much as you want. And it's just meat, protein. It's and delicious, amazing pork, uh, all different kinds of meat, right? And it's all seasoned and oh, it was amazing. Oh, Bill's been to them. I left there. They took me out in a wheelbarrow, man. I'm telling you. Cute, Studley. I mean, Todd. Wow, you really do. Oh, where did Saddam Hussein keep his CDs? Yeah, right, Dan. Does everything still taste like toe? Not yet, Dan. I'm probably gonna spend another summer. I'm thinking. I don't really know. Um, um, the bus is finally where I wanted to be, mechanically and with all the power and everything all in there. Um, but I know last summer I was going through some times in my life. Like, and in the summertime, if you're going through times being in a van, winter only amplifies it. So I know that I was thinking about getting a small rental unit when I got back here to town. I'm thinking about going into an old folks home and moving into one of their smaller suites. And then what I was going to do was have a home base. So I did have baths because my body is very sore. Like I live in chronic pain all the time because of my rheumatoid arthritis. And then I love that. Didn't work. So I'm thinking that I really do need to have a go back to a sticks and bricks on a, well, it'll be permanent because you're paying for it. But I want the option to still go out and run away for a month that if I wanted to, or two if I wanted to, but still have a little place that I could call my own. So if I do get the apartment, then I'll probably get rid of the bus and just use the Honda because gas mileage wise. And we'll find out after I get it finished to see how comfortable it is if I need to do any upgrades to it. There's so many things that I don't know. And I don't like going down that pathway because I'm trying to stay in the moment because right now everything around me is perfect. And when I start to go outside of my circle and start thinking about tomorrow or next week or a month from now, then the human brain tells me, oh, well, you got to watch out for this. Oh, but you got to watch out for that. Oh. So to be honest, I don't know. It probably is in the future. But if I don't have a place to stay, I would rather stay in my bus than pay exorbitant prices for, I'm not gonna sacrifice and jump into an apartment building or something like this that's gonna cost me big bucks. It comes up in my next interview. We're talking to a buddy of mine that's just moving. He's younger than me. But I think with the old folks home, you get quite a bit of a deal on them. Wow, does he ever being a bug, eh? I'm young, Bond. Yes. I may be young, but my body ain't. That's what I try to let people know, right? Oh, good for you, Norm. Oh, wow. Yeah, I hear you. But you know something, I will let you know, Norm. I dealt with kids. I used to be a driving instructor, and I had kids in my classroom during the weekends and driving with them. And it's quite amazing that how technical the kids are nowadays. Like a lot of them are not very good writers. Like they don't do curse. Like we had to all practice our letters. Remember in kindergarten and stuff like this. I don't think they do that anymore, right? Why is that, Dan? Why do you need to be posted? Definitely. Like my life is basically here on YouTube, so yeah, you'll know. But if you want first dibs, I'll let you know, okay? Yeah, exactly. Well, I don't have a good family history on the male side of both my families for lengthy lives, and I know what my health is like. So, yeah, I putter around like a 70, 80-year-old man. So, and yes, rent is ridiculous everywhere. It is stupid. What do they call my place? What do they call it? Um, I want to say sustained, but it's not sustained. Subsidized housing for 55 plus. So basically, they have little homes where you live on your own, and they also have health aides and care aides in the next building. And so it depends on if you're disabled or not. And it goes on and on. It just, yeah, they, as you get older, you move into a different building. So yeah, I've got a few ideas, and I have a couple people I know that might be able to help me out to get me into one of those. And plus, if I'm a homeless, disabled guy, which I am, and senior, they might be able to put me higher up on the. Right now, there's a 2 or 3 year waiting list, so I'm hoping I can get in there with a little bit of help, be put closer to the top of the list. So, have I run into people? I haven't really traveled in the car yet. The car I bought strictly was what I wanted to do when I was traveling across Canada, coming back, and I was in the prairies and I started to go a bit squirrely. That's when I started thinking about getting a sticks and bricks. And I also wanted to get a vehicle. I wanted to get a cheap little winter beater with a heater just to get around. I was going to come home and I was going to park my van at Bavarian, plug it in, and basically use my commuter car to get around, save on fuel, save having it unplug and move this big bus around all over the place, and just take it out once in a while for an excursion. And when I got the little Honda CRV, that's when I thought about making it into a RV and making it a small excursion vehicle, because we had the bus up in the woods one day with this guy that lives here, and he has a little car that's an all-wheel drive, and we did some really neat adventuring off road in his car. So when I got this, I'm like, I think I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a bed in it and a fridge in it. I'm going to make it so that I can go out for 3 or 4 days and sleep comfortably, because I know that when I'm out camping, because it's usually in good weather, and I don't have to stay inside the van. So I'm going to just need a place to sleep and a place to store my stuff. And then you're outside the van. So that was the original plan. Park the thing, have a homestead in my van, and use the excursion vehicle to go out. But everything kind of changes when all of a sudden you're being put on hold for surgery and they're giving you hoops you need to jump through in order to get your surgery done. So 3 years of waiting, I'm sitting here in the batter's box waiting to get up to the plate. And we haven't done much of anything in the last. God, you're noisy when you drink. Come here. Come here. Come here. Good boy. Good boy. Oh, yes. Check out this guy. He just got a haircut. Hey, dude. Show everybody your haircut. Yeah, you're so handsome. Whoops. Hi, everybody. This is the Dude Show. Starring me, the dude, with my sidekick. Goof sitting behind me. Yeah, he's the dude, see? The dude. Yeah, there you go. So, yeah, I don't know. Oh, cool. Well, you know where I'm at. Hey, Mr. Ron, how are you today? Oh, you know what I forgot? Hello, Lethbridge. The Vintage Vehicle Adventures. I like that. Gordy G, hey, buddy. No, I'm trying to. Oh, CDs are in Iraq. In Iraq. I had to go back and I remember that I had a joke that I had to go find out. Oh, yeah, Dan. Yeah, sorry, I got off on a rant there, and I will definitely get in touch with you, buddy. She's a fine one, that's for sure. I know, and people love it, eh? Like all these van people, like that I meet, and it's like, okay, come on in. And my school bus is like a living room, right? And we come in, and I mean, I've had 6 people in there with plenty of room for more, but we just get in there and you're just comfortable. I just got a wrap around couch type of thing in there, and we bring extra chairs in. I just wanted to swivel for the driver's seat, because then I can swivel the driver's seat around and get one more person in there. Agassiz, love Agassiz. Home of Kent Institution. $1,300 for a 1-bedroom in Kamloops. So with this subsidized housing, I'm looking at probably just a little under 500. So we'll see. The top of everybody's list. Oh my God. R. I actually have that sticker, Todd, on the up of my van. The dude abides. My good old buddy there, Mark, the paint guy, had picked it up years ago, and he goes, "Oh my God, finally have a place for your sticker." So, Ollie, it was a good one. It took me a while to figure it out. That's all. So what do you think of the dude's haircut, eh? Not bad, eh? Yeah, just getting it too. I know. There you go. You're a mod. Link your channel. Did you watch that? Did you? I must say the beer fridge next to your head is genius. Okay, Norm. It was a beer fridge. Okay, there's still room to put beer in it, but it's actually going to be used for a smaller version of a real fridge to carry real food with me while I'm out and about, because everybody likes cold milk and cold beer and cold cuts and yeah. It's easy. You just type it in or go to your if you can go to your website, if you go to your YouTube and then press share, then you copy the link and say it says a share, and then it says copy link. You copy link, and then you come back here, and then you hit the chat, and it'll say paste, and then you hit the paste, and it'll come up for you. The ladies love the dude. They sure do. You know what I love about the dude? Is that's full grown. He's half the size of Goldberg. Even my sister, I heart beer. Me too. Not today, though. Today's a day off. I got things to do this afternoon. So it's 11 degrees outside, you guys. 11. That's like 54 degrees or something silly like that. Oh, wow. I know exactly what you're talking about too, eh? The 52 Metro. The MCI buses are amazing. They got some really cool buses. One guy basically bought all the buses from downtown Vancouver, and they were all the old BC Hydro electric transit buses, and they're all sitting up in a ghost town in Sandon, BC, which is tucked away in the Slocan Valley, up in an old silver mine, and they're just sitting there, and they're all aluminum, so they're not rusting. Mind you, I don't know how you'd power it up, but imagine how many batteries you need, because they were all run off they had the trolley system where the arms went up and then hit electric lines up above them. So the dude is a chick magnet. Yeah. Okay, I'm not going there. There we go. That was a good one, right? Next. Just saying, returning what's his name's text there, Dave. Dave went out and did a few things, and he he's really happy about himself. But again, I think he goes, I'm still wondering if I should go to the hospital because I'm still vibrating. And I think that his brain is overstimulated. Stimulated. So we have to try to get him through the day. And if it doesn't get better and it does get worse, then we'll have to have a look at it. But I'll phone him after I'm done here, which should be very shortly because we're just over the hour mark. And well, I'm only usually on here for an hour. It's been a slice. And oh, look who's that. Welcome to the show, really late, Linda. Right, Linda? An hour. We've been on for an hour and you're just showing up. What were you doing, Linda? Okay. Anyways, I'm going to take off from here, you guys. It's a beautiful sunny day. As I said, it's 11.5 degrees outside. I haven't got my text to go and help this lovely young lady out. So I need to attend to some of my own stuff. I wanted to get some wood cut and stuff like that. I got to go visit the girls out. There's some girls at the compound. So I'm going to pop in and say hi to them. And yeah, we're going to get our day started off and by getting outdoors and enjoying some of this beautiful weather. Well, I can hardly wait to see you, Linda. So with that, hey, are you Canadians? What's this? Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're Canadians. We actually just sent down one down there down to Arizona, but you can't use it. It's in their aeronautical museum down there. So with that, peace, love, and granola. I'm out of here. You all have a great day. Okay? I'll talk to you soon.